Hi, this is Marty with Skincare Science, and welcome back for another video. In this video, I'm going to discuss the vitamin C facial. Now, for me, a facial is either relaxing or basically maybe a half hour of therapy, depending on the client, depending on the practice of the esthetician, whether or not they're more a spa or non-invasive, non-results driven. Let's just put it that way. Like you might get at a resort or something just fluffy on vacation. The other side of the facial spectrum is results-driven facials. Glycolic acid, chemical peels, informative facials. Say, for example, you have a facial that brings someone in on the furthest this side, which is kind of spa-like, and then you introduce your skincare line you carry with them, and you go over all the products with them. So that's kind of like a results-driven facial, but not really as it relates to what's actually going to happen within the skin. So when I offer to do a vitamin C facial, I really don't have a vitamin C facial within the Serene line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create one, and I did not research online what a vitamin C facial is. I felt that if I did any research whatsoever, it would not be true to Serene, and it would not be true to the client, because then what I would be doing is basically just regurgitating everyone else's. So this is one-off, unresearched, and they're basically, well, there was no time spent whatsoever. Get in front of the camera and do a vitamin C facial. So I hope this answers all the questions, and if it doesn't, I welcome the questions that come my way. So let's get started. Let's go ahead first and right here. So we've got vitamin C facial. Okay. When I hear vitamin C facial, I basically just hear a fluffy facial that is catering to a certain clientele and is catering to the marketing machine of the cosmetic industry. Meaning, when you do one particular facial and call it a vitamin C, you're not going to really see the benefit of the vitamin C at that particular time. So if you are a spa that carries a vitamin C facial or has fancy names associated with facials to appeal to the retail client, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. It's just not how I address skincare. And it's interesting because if you were to address skincare from my point of view, you would have very little business because I'm anti marketing machine, cosmetic, whatever. So if you've seen some of my videos, you probably get that. But I certainly appreciate what this is, and I certainly appreciate what's being done with it. And I know with this particular client who asked me, it's a successful client, and I know enough about their business to know that they have facials that are, by name, more of the marketing-driven side. And I think that's great. I really do. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how I would do this. All right. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to be able to, for me, one-off, I want to be able to place vitamin C twice in this facial. And for me, the reason why is because it's in the name. The client is going to be coming for the vitamin C facial, and the vitamin C, as it relates to its anti-aging and antioxidant properties, as it relates to topically applying that particular active ingredient to the skin, I'm going to want to see it applied twice. Now, again, always going back to the initial statement that for that particular facial, you're not going to see the benefit. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of have to go up the midline with me on this as far as it being, as far as a fluffy facial, but at the same time, trying to be results driven, but it's more of an education if if I were to really look at it as I do. Okay, so vitamin C within the Serene line is 25%. Okay, L-ascorbic acid, right? And then it has another ingredient, which is pycnogenol. Okay, so I'm not going to go into pycnogenol. We'll go ahead and forget that, and I'll be doing a vitamin C tutorial on what it is within the Serene line at a later time. But again, you can go to the Skincare Science website and read about it, and it's all there. Again, this ingredient is not a stranger to the skincare industry at all. Okay, all right, so vitamin C facial. The first thing that I want to do is I want to cleanse, and I'm going to cleanse with AHA3 facial cleanser. Now you might be wondering, why did I choose AHA3 and not facial cleanser sensitive skin? The reason why is because I want the 3% glycolic acid. And the reason I want that is because, and I'll draw my famous 3 lines here. Okay, here, here, here. So I'm going to go ahead and write C, epidermis, and then dermis. I'm not going to write the 3rd line because I'll need it for later. Okay, so the reason I want the 3% is I want to disrupt the stratum corneum, or the connecting zones, the desmosomes and the intercellular space. The glycolic acid, if left on the skin, will work on, and the cleanser within the facial cleanser sensitive, within the HA3 facial cleanser, will also disrupt the intercellular space and allow the vitamin C to penetrate easier and deeper into the skin. So we're going to use the surfactant in the facial cleanser, AHA3 facial cleanser, and we're going to use the glycolic acid at 3% to help do that. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is, after this, is I'm going to apply facial toner. Now, if you're leaving the AHA3 facial cleanser on, you're going to want to lather it up greater than you would, because of, it's not just, the purpose is not just cleansing the skin. Remember what it's doing and what I just said. Okay, so this is going to be left on the skin for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you're going to go ahead and remove it and immediately bring back, or apply the facial toner, just to bring the pH back to the skin. And you're talking about the product, and again, most of the products from the Serene line can be found in other skincare lines, and so if you can apply this, do that, or obviously buy Serene. But with that being said, it should be easy to duplicate this with many different skincare lines. So after facial toner, I'm immediately going to go into the vitamin C. Okay. Okay. So remember, being the name vitamin C, we are talking about what we're doing with the AHA3 facial cleanser and the facial toner, and then introducing the vitamin C. The facial toner, the comment is pH balance. Just kind of removing anything residue from the facial cleanser, bringing back the pH of the facial toner, of the skin with the facial toner, and then applying the vitamin C, and discussing how step 1 is going to allow vitamin C to penetrate the skin. Now here's a little bit of a play on words. Now, because Serene is basically a results-driven line, there is really no step that is fluffy. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, a little latitude on that, so allow me to explain. With applying vitamin C twice in this facial, the next step and the step after has to get us into that second application of vitamin C. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead on step number 4, is I'm going to apply AHA8, astringent. Now, why am I doing that? The second reason that I'm doing that comes back to number 1, but realistically, the 3% didn't do very much. So what I want to do is I want to come back. And if you really see what's going on here with the AHA8, and I'm going to leave this on the skin for roughly about 3 minutes. Okay, that is really going to disrupt the stratum corneum and the epidermal layer. Now, if you're thinking of the stratum corneum as an individual layer in the epidermis, don't. I just always break it out. But with that being said, this is one thick, like cheese-like substance, you know, and I've done other videos on it. But what I want to do is get as deep as I can into the stratum corneum, disrupt the intercellular spaces, and start working on the desmosomes that are connecting the corneocytes together. If we consider the reserve function of the skin, and that's another topic, this vitamin C will be working through the skin for the next, 12, 24, 36 hours as it traverses. That time frame is not exact, but the most important thing is it's not through the follicles that we're getting to the dermal layer with the vitamin C. We're concentrating on the epidermal layer and the time that it takes for products to work their way intercellularly. Okay, we're thinking of that. Okay, so after the AHA8, which is going to disrupt again the intercellular spaces, AHA8 astringent at the pH of 3.3 to 3.6 for 3 minutes isn't doing a lot as it's done one time, but it's doing enough for what we're trying to do here. Now, the next steps are really critical. So this is the important thing. So step number 5, okay, is vitamin C. And again, but here's where it gets really interesting. After you apply the vitamin C, okay, we're going to go ahead and apply a lotion after that, or a cream. The one that I want to do is twofold. So this is like step 5A and 5B. Around the orbital eye area, I'm going to apply one. Okay. Around the rest of the face, I'm going to apply either a ceramide lotion, anti-aging regenerating cream. Yes, it's for the eye and it's the sister product of one. But here what we want to do is use the best anti-aging products within the Serene line for the rest of the face. And we're dividing, you know, there's always a at-home care sales approach to everything we do. The vitamin C is applied all over the face. One is applied to the orbital eye area. Ceramide lotion or anti-age. Trying to be quick with this. Regenerating cream and ageless peptide combined together, or pick whatever your favorite is. The next step is where, for me, all the magic happens. The vitamin C, when it goes on, is going to be a little bit tacky. The AHA8 astringent applied on top of the vitamin C is going to do as already discussed. The tackiness and what you feel, the one and the ceramide combined, however you do that, okay, that's custom, that's one-off, that's for you. If you want me to tell you what to do, I'll tell you what to do. Combine ceramide lotion and anti-aging regenerating cream, 50-50 mix, and go with that all over the face, staying away from the eyes because you already have one. Anything left, you know, on the hands or whatever, like you would tell your client, you know, apply to the lips, unless, of course, you put in a Vaseline or an occlusive over their lips for some reason, but not normally necessary with this type of facial. Okay, so the next step is going to be really cool, and let's make sure that you can see that on the. It's going to be healing mask. Okay. So after you do vitamin C1 and step 5B, which is the ceramide lotion mix, blah, 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 whatever, you're going to take healing mask and you're going to apply it all over the face. Then you're going to take 4x4 gauzes and you're going to drape it over the skin, over the face. All right. Now, something did not happen, and you're probably wondering why. H2O, neutralize. Sir. Okay. Apply water afterward, or go ahead and do nothing. For me, I would do nothing. I would not add the water. I would allow it to do its job. I would want it full strength, and that's just how I would operate this. It's up to you and the client. If the client has sensitive skin, again, this is for probably, if it's 2 on the small scale, but if you're dealing with a fits 1, very sensitive skin type, you're going to want to treat this step very carefully. So go ahead and pick here, but you don't need to neutralize. That was the point of the whole thing. You don't need to neutralize. Okay, so H2O if you want, but I would not. I would apply the vitamin C, and going back to step 6. Okay, so healing mask. It's not going to dry. Make sure it goes on moist. Okay, make sure these steps are all dry. You might feel a little bit of tackiness from the vitamin C. I doubt it. Normally, the lotions or the creams applied afterward occlude it, and there's no more tackiness. But the healing mask applied, take the 4x4s here, drape them here and here, how you normally would. Make sure they are saturated, not dripping wet, but saturated. And then go ahead and apply them and have a little fan or something to cool air over the client. What's basically happening is, well, you figured it out when you look at this facial, is we are disrupting the stratum corneum, the epidermal layer, with the cleanser and the glycolic. We are using facial toner to bring the skin back to the proper pH. Vitamin C facial, little marketing side of it, right? Then we're going to go ahead and drive this vitamin C deeper with the AHA astringent. Then we're going to apply more vitamin C, which is the marketing side, secondary, your vitamin C facial, applied twice. 1, orbital eye area, ceramide lotion, anti-regenerating cream. Discuss the products. What they are doing is setting you up for an occlusive barrier on the vitamin C, and the next step is applying the healing mask. So if you guessed it right, what we have is we are driving the C into the skin, and then we are occluding it with the healing mask. Because if you know anything about the Serene healing mask, basically, if this is the skin and the corneocytes, when we apply the healing mask, right, like that, and then we wipe it away, I'm not going to do it, but as we wipe it away, what it's going to be is it's going to be flat. And basically, if you want to test that, go ahead and take some healing mask, put it on your finger, rub, feel the top of your hand, put the healing mask on it, and then feel it. You'll feel that it's smooth. Basically, even when you rub it off, there's still a little bit of healing mask that's remainder, and that's the smoothness that you feel, even though you can't see it. So what your client is basically feeling is they're feeling the absorption of the healing mask. They're feeling the coolness of the cool air over the cool water. They're feeling the pressure of the healing mask. They're feeling the occlusive nature of the facial. They're feeling the weight of the water, the hydrated 4x4s. And that entire weight is extremely relaxing. It fits the bill for the facial, for the vitamin C facial, because of the vitamin C in the that you're applying twice. It's being helped by the double use of glycolic acid. Now, I know one question is going to be is, well, wouldn't it be better to use facial cleanser sensitive skin? It depends on the client, and it depends what you do here. If you're really going to do an exfoliating here, then yeah, switch that out for facial cleanser sensitive skin. The surfactants, basically, it is the same basically. And you're going to want to go ahead and just watch how long you leave it on. This is really the only experience area here as far as what you would want to do. this is the way I would do it. I feel comfortable with this way on any Fitzpatrick scale. The one thing I would keep my mind on is how long I leave that on. AHA 15, refining gel I would not use. BHA, AHA I would not use, and I would not use AHA 12 facial cleanser either. Not in this facial. This is enough glycolic acid to do its job, and the other ones are just very, very strong, and it's just not needed. And when you remove the 4x4s, you would take care of the skin as you normally would. There is absolutely no right or wrong after that. It's basically applying anything else that you want to discuss with the client, try with the client, or utilize to get a better idea of what their skincare goals are and what products within the Serene line you would like to talk about and to utilize with them. Because once the healing mask comes off, that's the full 45 minutes. I guarantee with all of this full 45. And there's really nothing to do after that, because once the healing mask goes on, what are you going to apply after that? Now, steam and extractions. For this particular facial, I would not add either one of those. If you are a skincare professional and you can see where it would help to add steam or to add extractions, do that where you see a fitting. But for me, I would not add those in there in with the facial. Okay, so this is a basic guideline, and I always try to talk about other things as I do my facials, and this video is longer than it kind of needed to be. But that's it. This is Marty. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.